yes, we got to talk about this. You know more about this than I do.
Yes. So Johns Hopkins University, it's a very, very famous medical school in America.
It's a medical school.
Yeah, very prestigious, right? Incredible. They do so much good medical research. It's amazing stuff.
Right.
They have this mascot statue that anyone can paint at any time. It's kind of a fun thing.
Yeah.
So before you think this is some sort of like crazy
Vandalism.
bad vandalism, it's not.
No,
Anyone
it's not
can paint
vandalism.
whatever they want.
Yeah, you can paint what you want on this thing.
But so some people did like the 74th anniversary of the Communist Party of China or whatever, and put a hammer and sickle and Chinese flag, right? And put it on this statue, which some people thought was disrespectful. But to be fair, First Amendment, you can do whatever you want, right?
I think
the irony is...
I think you could have done without the hammer and sickle, maybe.
I don't think you should do this, period.
Sure.
I'm against this, but I am in support of anyone being able to legally do this.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Try paint the American flag on any statue in China and see what happens to you.
Give it a shot. But don't say we told you to do it.
No.
But anyway, people struck back around Xi Baozi.
Yeah,
and
he
that's
hates
native.
that.
By the way, that's native. That's definitely a native speaker wrote that for sure. That's very colloquial, like stroke.
Yeah, Xi Baozi basically is Xi Jinping, right?
Steamed bun.
Yeah, Xi steamed bun. You know, like a pork bun that you buy.
He went and ate
he ate Baozi, and like it was a big hoo-ha. So they call him,
He hates that. It was
Xi
banned.
pork bun. So like
They banned that.
Yeah, you can't call him that.
Yeah, it says F-U-C-K, Xi Jinping, and
Yeah.
it says Zhongguo, and then Nima something. I can't see the rest, but anyway, Nima. It says
Yeah.
Nima.
Yeah, it does.
Anyway, people fought back and were like, "F this." You think about this. This is how I always portray it. You can never look at all these Chinese international students as some sort of bleeding nationalists, because a lot of them have gone to America to study to get away from this stuff.
Yes.
So they feel very threatened.
But in amongst them, you get hardcore CCP supporters.
That's what I'm saying. They feel threatened. Their freedom of speech feels threatened when people are going around brandishing CCP insignia and ratting people out, getting people in trouble, and getting their parents hounded back home in China. Sucky.
People get a very skewed idea of Chinese people by the people that come to their countries, because you have to understand that the people that are making it out of China to go study abroad are incredibly rich. Okay, the average Chinese person could never afford that.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so it's only the elites. So either somebody who's very rich through business, but a lot of them are rich through the Communist Party. Okay, and their business too is through corrupt ties too. So a lot of the students that end up overseas are somehow connected to the government anyway.
A lot of them. And a lot of them are very, very not supportive of the CCP.
Absolutely. But you just have to understand that, the political elite all send their children abroad.
Abroad, yeah, for sure.
Anyone who's made a lot of money in China usually has to have Communist Party
in some
ties.
way.
Yeah. Just to get their permits and just to get their thing, they have to have all these connections.
Yes.
So, their wealth is largely in part due to their connections with the Communist Party of China. So the wealthy people that are coming abroad, you could probably find some fairly strong ties to the Communist Party. That's something you have to bear in mind.
Sure. Anyway,
but it's
on.
not your average Chinese person is what I'm trying to say.
Correct. Taiwan opens an office in Lithuania, brushing aside China opposition. So if you guys know, Lithuania has been super Chad, Estonia as well, but Czech Republic. These countries in Europe have been super Chad in standing up to China in recognizing, at least partially recognizing Taiwan as some sort of entity and setting up liaison offices there. And it's been a huge middle finger to the CCP, because they're like, how dare you do that? We're going to cut you off. We're going to sanction. We're going to do all this crap to you. They're like, we don't care. We're going to stand up for human rights. We're going to stand up for independent nations, right? Because they're small countries that got bullied by Russia.
Yeah.
And guess what? The Taiwan-China situation is very akin to getting bullied by Russia, right? So those countries are like, we get it. We get it, Taiwan.
Yeah.
We're there, right?
And we'll be your friend.
Yeah, so it says, hey, China, look at me, bitch.
It's pretty funny.
It's really nice.
Yeah, I like that meme.
God bless Lithuania. We'd love to go there and pay our respects.
100%.
Chads. This I thought was absolutely amazing, because this is something we've been fighting for so long. I think this goes up not just from like the public, what the public thinks about China being the Chinese government, the CCP, has this long-term planning. They're ready for anything because they think decades ahead, whereas the West only thinks
this is the myth. The myth is that China's got a plan.
Yeah. the U.S. is only thinking ahead in terms of election cycle. Everything else
Sure.
depends on the president. This is myth, right?
Yeah.
But China, they got this planned out for hundreds of years, right?
Decades.
They're way ahead of us. They've already figured everything out. So they
Yeah.
can suffer these short-term things or whatever, and they don't even care, right?
Yeah.
But this meme shows China plans in decade bros. Decades bros. That's actually a class of people.
This is a class of people.
The people that believe China plans in decades. Because when you live there, you see what a knee-jerk country that is.
They just basically let it roll until something breaks or
Yes.
isn't work. Then they fix it. There's no real planning ahead.
No.
It's very much in the moment.
China plans in decades, bros, watching the CCP consistently make knee-jerk reactions and employ short-term profit schemes.
Yeah, exactly.
And you see this in a lot of the pro-CCP groups, like there's Western run groups on Reddit and all over the place, right?
Yeah.
And they have this fantasy that China is, amidst all these huge problems, a lot of these people haven't been to China.
Yeah.
They think that it's all been planned out and it's fine. And it's not fine.
No, it's not fine.
It's a house of cards, dude.
Yeah.
We
There's
knew
a
that
lot
as
of-
soon as
yeah.
we moved there.
There's a lot of issues. And China, because they have the power of this one-party state, they can literally just bulldoze an entire village to put up a high-speed rail. And
Yeah.
somehow people are impressed by that.
Yeah.
They're very good at just doing something, but they don't think about it. If you think about like the Three Gorges Dam, they just do it, flood a whole place out,
Yeah.
mess with nature. A lot of things. There's not a lot of forward planning going on with what China does when it comes to many things.
I think there's another thing to that too. It's like you also are impressed because you're watching a curated image from a country that doesn't have press freedom. It's second to last in the world for press freedom. So the state has created the image that it's feeding to you.
Yeah.
Not reality, right?
No, it's not
So
reality.
of course you're going to look at that and be like, that's incredible.
And also, people that go to China and they go to Beijing or Shanghai, they're not seeing what's really happening there.
Yes.
It's kind of like a closed bubble. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's an interesting situation. But yeah, this is a very telling and very accurate meme.
Yeah, I thought it was a good one.
Tourist sites in China sucks.
Yes.
Look, that's the Great Wall. Do you want to be there? That looks like it's going to collapse.
It is giving me PTSD.
If you're
You would be a
suicidal,
psycho!
if you're suicidal, you travel during the New Year.
Like a tribal skirt type of thing that men would wear that's not pants.
Okay, I don't like this guy already.
Okay. And then he cried because of the sheer beauty and scale of the whole thing.
Wow. This just looks like depression hell right here.
That's
I wanted my money back. This is what you see. This is got to be like, look at what am I looking at here? This has got to be the most depressing thing in the whole world.
He really did just believe that Mao was God. And he gave me a shirt to put on, and I had to stand like that.
This is accurate though, because the only thing the Communist Party ever did was sit around.
Can almost see it. When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs.